Hello everyone, welcome back to Locked and Loaded in Las Vegas. Today we're going to be talking about the Mul-T-Lock Jr. It is a dimple lock, as you can see by the horizontally oriented keyway here, as opposed to the vertically oriented pin tumblers that I've been peeking recently. It's going to be featuring pin-in-pin technology, which is each pin is hollowed out with a secondary pin in the middle of it, so you essentially have to pick this lock twice, turning a 5-pin lock into a 10-pin lock. To pick this, I'm going to be using a multi-pick Elite G Pro series with the number 1 flag. And for a tensioning tool, I'm going to be using the multi-pick Lock Noob series SP62. It's going to give me a little bit of extra room in the keyway to attack the pins so I can do the outer pin prior to attacking the inner pin. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing things a little differently. Instead of narrating each pin, I'm going to be picking this lock, but I'm also going to be talking about a little bit of history in Las Vegas. You can see I already got a false set and some counter rotation here. So this first episode I'm going to be talking about the Treasure Island Hotel. It's interesting to me because I have some fond memories of it as a kid. It was created in the era in the early 90s when Las Vegas was trying to be a little bit more family friendly. A little bit deeper false set here. So once I get a deep false set, I'm going to be starting to attack the inner pins. So Treasure Island was opened in '93, being created by Steve Wynn. The thing that really made me enjoy it was the pirate-themed show outside that began as soon as it opened in October of 1993, and it continued until 2003. It was a really fun show to watch. Giant ships in a harbor outside the hotel. And one of the ships would actually sink into the harbor as the show progressed. It was really fun to watch. I'm sure you can find videos of it on YouTube. Once the hotel was bought out in 2003, they wanted to make it more of a traditional Vegas vibe. So they changed the pirate show. You can see here I got a really deep false set. So now I have only 1 or 2 more of the inner pins to go. So let's see. Let's try this back pin up, and we got the open. So as I prepare to take this apart, we'll continue talking about Treasure Island. So Steve Wynn sold the hotel, and the new owners want to redesign the vibe around the hotel. So basically they ended the show and abruptly changed it to a more risque version that featured more adult-themed, I will say, elements, where a ship of women pirates were fighting a bunch of male soldiers. There's a lot of adult elements to that. I won't go into detail here, but you can find that one on YouTube, I'm sure, as well. But that ran until approximately 2013, when they closed it for good. It was supposed to be a temporary closure. I think they originally just wanted to change the show around, but then they decided to completely cut it off and use that space for shops, which is really unfortunate because the shows were fun to watch. The ships are still there. You can still go see them. And there's no show. They don't do anything, which is really disappointing. I really like the family-friendly version of Vegas. Of course, everyone likes the adult portions as well, the drinking and whatnot, but I think the shows made everything just a little bit more fun. Let me know if you've been there down in the comments. Alright guys, so let's talk about the pins this lock contains. So like I said, it's pin-in-pin technology. There you can see an inner pin there. They're a little stuck, so I'm going to use the pick to help me get them out. And there's the outer pin for pin slot number 1. Now going to number 2. I'm just going to take all these out real quick and then I'll pull the inner pins out. 3, 4, and 5. When you're attacking these locks, you want to make sure to attack the outer pin first before you do the inner pin. I won't go too much into detail about how to pick them because Lockpicking Lawyer and Bosnian Bill, and I'm sure some others have some great instructional videos. The inner pin dropped down here a little bit. There it is. And I want to keep my YouTube just a little bit fresh to give you guys something a little different instead of just narrating the pin numbers and talking about how to pick locks. There's plenty of that out there, and I highly recommend that you watch all that. And I will still continue my beginner series, but most of my videos are going to be talking about the history of Las Vegas. I'll get into hotels like I did on this one. I'll get into mob history. That's always fun. But if you have any topics you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Alright, number 1 is a spooled driver. 2 is going to be a standard driver. And these springs stick out pretty far, so I'm going to pull them out as I'm going along. Three is spooled. And these are all standard inner drivers so far. Four is spooled. And 5 is spooled. And all standard inner drivers. I like picking these multi-locks. They're a fun pick. They're a bit of a challenge at first. Once you get them, they kind of become a little easier, just like any lock that you've picked. But I really enjoy picking these. I think this one is one of my comfort locks now. Alright, I'll give you the close-up of the pins here. So I got 4 spool drivers with 1 standard driver in number 2 with all standard inner driver pins. Alright guys, thank you for watching. That's our lock. Let's go get loaded and check out those videos.